Drayton Manor Park recently announced that Pandemonium is being removed from the theme park for good. It's up for sale now and that something new will be coming in 2022 to fill the void that it's leaving. That's the part that really softens the blow here. If they were removing yet another ride with no replacement planned, then it would be a big shame for the park. But if you replace a ride that, let's be honest, I don't think many people thought was spectacular, and put something much better back into the park, then I think that's totally okay. Rides come and go from theme parks all the time. It just can't be too much of rides leaving and too little of new rides getting added in. With G-Force, Pirates Adventure, the Ferris wheel, the cable cars and now Pandemonium leaving, with Apocalypse up for sale as well, Drayton Manor has been desperately in need of some new rides, and luckily, the fortunes of this park seem to be turning around since they were bought out by the Looping Group. They've already had a new themed area, the River Rapids refurbished and reopened, and a wave swinger has already been added in, and I think that Pandemonium's replacement is going to be a very good fit for the park, and I have a feeling that there's actually going to be more than one ride coming in. It seems like the new rides actually won't be going on the small, landlocked concrete patch where Pandemonium was, but instead on a far better site, the big, unused field next to the Buffalo coaster. Construction is already well underway and the area cordoned off takes up a large part of the field, which suggests to me that this isn't just going to be one small flat ride, which is great news. I'd like to think that we're looking at a new themed area entirely here, and I think it will include a couple of good-sized flat rides and potentially even a roller coaster as well, although I'm not entirely sure that if they are building a roller coaster, it will be ready for 2022. It would be great if it is though. Since the trees on the sides of the path right up against the lake have been taken out, it seems like at least one of the rides will either go out over the lake or be right up against it if not, and I'm pretty confident that this ride could be a zampala disco or disco coaster, which is the one with the airtime hill in the middle, like what Parc Asterix in France has, and Chessington near London. I think that this will happen not only because we've heard rumours about Drayton Manor adding one of these for a long time now, and one was apparently originally planned for the new Adventure Cove area in the back, before they decided to leave it open as a picnic area instead, but Drayton Manor has a long history of working with zampala. They've worked with them on plenty of their rides in the past, including the previous ride that they added before the wave swinger in Adventure Cove, which was in Thomasland. That was a zampala, and also the air race back in 2014. Discos are just very popular rides. They're popping up all over, since they're cheap enough to buy, reliable, and they have a very wide appeal. Everyone enjoys them, me included, and I think this would be a really good fit for the park. If they're getting one ride from zampala, then I'd imagine that if they get any more flat rides, they'll probably be from them as well. They'll be able to work out some sort of package deal which will probably save them quite a bit of money. If they get a roller coaster, then that might not be, but since zampala stocks one of the biggest flat ride ranges of any ride manufacturer out there, they're not exactly short for choice by any means. There's the option of going with one of their newer models, such as the Nebulas or Blendes, but I'm not sure that that ride would exactly fit with the vibe that the park is seemingly going for at the minute, with reducing the number of very extreme rides down a bit. But the Nebulas could definitely work here, as well as some of their more tried and tested ride models that they offer, such as the Endeavour or, why not, the classic Kite Flyer. Now I think that Drayton Manor absolutely could add a roller coaster and I hope they do, but what exactly that is something that I'm not 100% sure on. Zampala have recently unveiled a new spinning coaster layout that would be a nice match and would fill a void in the park's lineup, but besides a junior coaster or maybe a moto coaster, I can't really come up with any other good roller coaster options from them, so thinking of other companies for a minute, maybe we could see something from Intamin. They've worked with them just this year already on the new River Rapids boats. A multi-dimension coaster like 13 at Alton Towers, or far better still, a family launch coaster, which is Intamin's take on a motorbike coaster. They have drive tyre launches. It will be a very unique, low to the ground, and if reviews from the one in Denmark and France are anything to go by, a very exciting ride, and it could possibly even beat out Shockwave for the spot of best coaster in the park. That's the ride that I'd like to see added to Drayton Manor the most, but so just to mention some of the other likely options out there, there is also the possibility of them getting a roller coaster from Gerstlauer. Their family roller coaster model is very similar to the Intamin multi-dimension coasters, and a bobsleigh coaster, which is basically an upgraded version of a wild mouse, is the last of the most likely roller coaster additions for this new space that I can think of. There is one more possible thing, and that's that we could be absolutely shocked here and see them getting a full coaster, such as the used B&M invert that's up for sale online from Kuwait. It's incredibly unlikely, but hey, never say never. I've seen weirder things happen in the theme park world, so I don't think we can rule it out by any means. I think that with the Buffalo coaster, since it's managed to survive until next year this time round, when they're building new rides right next to where it is, it makes me think that it's safe at the park for the next few years at least. The Buffalo coaster, when it opened all the way back in 1987, is another zampala ride, so clearly getting spare parts isn't an issue, and this really surprised me actually. I had a look on the roller coaster database earlier, and there are dozens of these rides still operating all around the world. I'm not so sure that it'll still be here in say 10 years time, but I think for now it's safe, and let's face it, they can't really start taking out even more rides than they already have, can they? So then, the big question, what will Pandemonium's replacement be? I think that we can expect a couple of new flat rides at least, probably and hopefully as a new themed area, and fingers crossed a new roller coaster as well. But if Drayton Manor is to get a new roller coaster, then I'm doubtful they'll be getting anything big for next year, but it could be added in 2023 as a phase 2 of the new area. They'll have to get a move on with it though, as I'm not sure that getting planning permission for a new roller coaster is going to be very quick and easy. Let's remember that Drayton Manor is the place where they put posters up in the queue lines of rides, asking you to stop screaming because it was disturbing local residents. I think it's also quite clear that Pandemonium's replacement will be just over to the side of it on the field and not on the concrete patch where it was. These are just some of my thoughts on what I could see happening here, but I'd be very interested to see what you're thinking, so please do leave a comment. I think it's really good that Drayton Manor are finally getting some new rides that they've needed for a long time, and clearly being the Looping Group's flagship park is paying off for them big time, and they're getting a lot more money poured into them than some of the group's other theme parks have. If you enjoyed today's video, then I'd really appreciate it if you left a like. My social media pages are linked down below, where I post quizzes, roller coaster pictures, new video updates, and give my thoughts on what's going on in the world of theme parks. I'll see you in the next video, which is going to be one of the last future of videos for a UK theme park, before I move on to predicting the future of theme parks abroad. Thank you for watching and have a great day.